Hello guys, so in this session of the course I'm going to teach us on how you can actually extract information from a table with pandas. So pandas is actually a library in Python, so it's mostly used by data analysts to analyze data and do some manipulation. So the first thing we're going to do is that I'm going to take us to the website now. So that is a Premier League website. If you actually check it, you see that we're having just one table here, just one table. So I'll be extracting it now with pandas. So the first thing you're going to do is that we're going to import our library, that is import pandas as PD, that is the alias. So after that, we are going to get the link for the website. So we just copy the link here, then let's store it in a variable name called link or web address, anyone that you want. So let me just put it there. So the next thing is that we are going to read this link with our pandas. So we're going to say pd.read underscore HTML. So we're going to pass in the link inside it. So let's run it now. So make sure that your data network is connected. So this is the table now. This is the table now. But the only problem here is that it will actually return the table as a list. So if you're having multiple tables, everything is going to be inside this place. But if you actually check it, you see that it's a list. If I try to bring out the type, you see that is a list. So you see that is a list. So now, so in order to extract the data frame from that list, what you just need to do is that you just make use of the index. That will be square brackets. So we're having just only one table here, so that should be at index 0. So we pass it in. So can you see now that we have our data frame? So this is how to extract data from web. So now the next one is that we are going to extract multiple table from web. If you actually look at this data now, you see that we're having a whole lot of table here. So I'm going to take us on how to extract it now. It's still the same method. So all we need to do is that, so let me just call this one section 2. So the first thing we need to do is that we go to this table, that is this website. Then we copy the link. So we go to the table website. So this is the table. We copy the link. So let's store it in a variable name called link2 and store it there. So just like the previous one, we are going to extract it. Data2 will be equals to before that, let me just use pd.read underscore HTML. Then I'm going to pass in the link2 there. So if I run it now, it actually puts everything in a list. You can see that we're having so many tables here. So for the first table now, you can see this. So this should actually be in the first index there. That is index 0. So let's see whether we're able to get it. I told you before that everything will be in a list. Can you see it? So for us to access the table, we are going to make use of the index. That will be index 0. So if you want it now, you'll see that we are able to extract for index 0. That is Liverpool to, that is this table here, this one here. So now, so this one here. So you can actually remove this line. But for now, I won't be removing it. So let me just remove the index and store all the data in data2, so that I'll be able to use it instead of. So now that'll be index 0. So if you want it now, you see that we're having Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Man City, and for this one, it actually filled it with this. If you check it now, you'll see that it's having a particular option here. So that is what it actually used to fill it. So you can see it. Okay, so let me go back now. So you can actually remove it. So you can remove it, or you use index. And how can you do it? You can just use the .iloc. So that .iloc, .iloc. So what you just need to do is that just pass this square bracket. Then the first one is actually stand for the row. So that we can actually then command. Then the second one actually stand for the column. That is from beginning to the end. So if I run it now, you can see that you'll see that it's still giving me the same data. That is why, because I'm saying from beginning to the end. But if I actually index it now and put it on index 4, so it will return the last one here. So if I run it now, you can see that it actually extracts just the first 4 clubs there. So if you check it now, you can see that it extracts the first 4 there. And so if I want to access for the second data, that data of data2 of 1, if I run it now, Leverkusen Bayern. So if you check it now, you'll see that this is it, Leverkusen Bayern, And don't forget, it's also returning the last one as well. So that will be dot ilock, then that will be to 4, and this. So if I run it now, you can see that it actually remove it. So instead of stressing yourself removing it, you can just write a for loop to fix that problem. And how do we do that? Don't forget, this data is a list. I told you before. So if you check it now, you see that is a list. Data 2, you see that is a list. So what can I do to this list? What I can do is just, I'll just say, let me call it extract data. So I'll just use a list comprehension. So how do I do that? What I just need to do is I'll say x for x in data 2. So the reason I need to do is this. I just need to say dot ilock, then extract to 4, then to the last one. So if I run it now, it's going to run, and if I bring out the extracted data for the first index, you see that everything is successful now. If I bring it for the second one, you see that everything is successful now. For the third one, you see that everything is also successful. So that is how to actually make, instead of me doing it one after the other, so I make use of the for loop there. But if you don't really understand, I mean the list comprehension rather, so I can actually use the for loop as well to fix the problem. So let me just use the for loop so as we see how it works. That is, if you are not familiar with list comprehension. So for the for loop, I just need to create a list, an empty list. Let's call it extract data 2 to be equals to an empty list. So I'm going to say for data, let me just use for table in data 2. So I'm going to say table, I'm going to say extract 2 dot append, so that append, to make it very simple, let me just create a variable name here. Let's call it extract. So that will be table dot ilock, then 4, then this. So we are going to extract it from the first row to the third row. That is going to stop here. Then all the column must be included. So after extracting it, we are going to append it inside here, inside this list. So I'm going to pass it down here, extract. So if I run it now and I call on extract data 2, you can see that it's still giving me the same. It has extract everything. So if I get on the index, you see that everything is there. So if I use 2, everything is fixed. So that is basically how to extract data from web using pandas. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Okay, yeah, so before I forget, so let me just take you on now. You are going to save your data as CSV file or Excel. So all what you just need to do is that let me just call this place saving extracted data. So let's see that you want to save let's say you want to save the first one, in the 0. So if you actually want to save this one now, so what you just need to do is that let me just copy it. So then this is actually the table. So you want to save it now, just put a dot to underscore CSV. That means that I'm actually saving it as a CSV file. So I'm going to enter the name of the file. So let me just call it club1 dot, then you put dot CSV, then you set the index to be equals to false, so that it will add additional index there. So if I actually run it now, so the data is already saved. So if I come back to my file, so this is the data. So if I actually want to load it in again, you know how to load it. That will be pd.read underscore CSV. So that will be club. So if I run it now,